Thank
Cool.
you
So
so much for speaking to me.
No
You guys
worries.
are amazing. I love the show and I love you guys separately and together. But what I wanted to know really quick from you, Adam Cole, you're having your return match come tomorrow. How does that not only feel, but how do you prepare differently after you've had this concussion so that you keep and remain safe?
Sure, sure. Yeah. So this entire process has been unlike anything that I've ever dealt with before. I mean, aside from the fact that they were two pretty serious head injuries, I've never been away from the ring for 9 months at a time. This is by far the longest amount of time I've been gone. So the excitement level is through the roof. The nerves are through the roof. But I'm just ready to get back to work, and I'm excited to get in there tomorrow.
Okay, I like that. And for Britt, you talked a lot about wanting to build up the women's division.
Yeah.
And so you talked about wanting to build an army of female wrestlers. But I wanted to know from you, how do you balance building others while also making sure your spotlight is not dimmed?
Right. That's definitely a balancing act. But fortunately, I've learned how to balance quite a bit being a wrestler and a dentist, as you know.
Mhm.
But it's really trusting the process. And there were people that really had a lot of faith in me early on, and I need to have that same faith in other people. And right now, I think the women's division is the best it's ever been. I mean, it's full of stars. We from top to bottom, the women's division right now I think is in wonderful shape, and it's in great hands too, because women's wrestling is really thriving. I have faith not only in the girls that I think are on the rise to the top stardom level of wrestling, but I have a lot of faith in myself too. I'm not worried about me slipping up.
Wonderful. So for both of you, I wanted to know, by being on All Access, how do you hope that it kind of changed the opinions of both non-fans, fans, but also as you as people and the business itself?
I think just kind of showing what all goes into not just putting on a live TV wrestling show every week, but what goes into being a wrestler, because it's everything. You have to look the part, be the part, walk the walk, talk the talk, on top of try to live a somewhat normal life and have, balance a relationship and your family and everything on top of that. And it's hard. It's really hard. And I think it doesn't get the respect that it deserves sometimes.
And I think with the two groups, those being the AEW pro wrestling fans and then the non-wrestling fans, for the wrestling fans, I hope they learn things and have a new appreciation for what goes in to making an AEW show run on weekly television. Again, a lot of us have never gotten this deep into our private lives before for the public to see. So hopefully the fans find it interesting. And as far as non-wrestling fans, it goes along with what Britt had said, is the entire process of doing an AEW Dynamite live on Wednesday. Yeah. It's a madhouse. It's chaotic. There's hundreds of people involved. There's stress. There's excitement. There's anxiety. There's all those things on top of a super rowdy, hot crowd, whatever town we're in. So for non-wrestling fans, again, I think it will show how absolutely fascinating being an AEW wrestler really is.
Right. So also, I was wondering, you was away for around 8 months with this concussion, and it took a toll on you mentally. But what I wanted to know was, what did you learn about Austin Jenkins when he couldn't be Adam Cole?
Oh, I didn't, it wasn't even, that's a great question. It wasn't even so much that I learned a ton about myself, which is very interesting. I mean, don't get me wrong, the journey was incredibly difficult, but the biggest thing that I learned was the amount of love and support I have from people who mean the most to me. Again, I've said it countless times, but Britt was absolutely unbelievable through this entire process. My mother was, my brother, my friends, the fans. Like, again, the outpouring of love I got from so many different people, even from people who didn't really know what was going on, was so humbling and so heartwarming. So I think the biggest thing that I learned was how freaking awesome human beings can be sometimes.
Right. See, it was just really, speaking of that, it was a beautiful moment that you had in the car with each other, where you're saying, I am sorry for what I put you through. And she's like, no, we're together. We support each other no matter what. In that moment, especially moments when it deals with injuries or when one person is down and you have to support the other one, what is it that you learn about not only just each other, but yourselves that makes you who you are today?
I think the biggest thing is how important teamwork really is in a relationship. Again, I won't go into too much detail because we're going to cover this all on the show, right. But I had some really, really bad nights and some really, really bad car trips. And Britt, just every single step of the way was there. Because, I do have a tendency to feel guilty when I'm in a situation like that. And she went above and beyond to not only make me not feel guilty, but make me feel stupid for even questioning it. Like, she's like, of course I'm standing by your side.
It's like, it really is a tag team.
Yeah.
And when someone's down or battered or tired, they have to tag out, and the other person kind of has to do a little bit more of the hard work and let your partner regroup until they're fresh and they can come help you out then. And sometimes you're in there longer, sometimes it's a short tag, but no matter what, it's the act of tagging in and out. That's why you're a team.
Right. Is there for both of you any misconceptions about the business that you hope this show kind of clears up?
I mean, I think I hate even bringing it up, but just the F word, that it's fake, that wrestling is fake, there's such a misconception. And I mean, just look at what he went through, the head injuries, the almost career-ending head injuries. I mean, I've been having a back injury for months now. I broke my nose, I broke my wrist, I broke my leg. There's nothing fake about those injuries. So I just, the physicality in professional wrestling does not get the respect it deserves.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better. Same thing. I think there is, and it's changed a little bit now as time has gone on, but there still is this misconception that it's not physically dangerous to be in the pro wrestling industry. And you'll see from countless members of the AEW roster that this is very, very dangerous and very real in a lot of ways.
Wonderful. And so also what I wanted to know kind of from both of you is, with this show, you guys open your lives up. What was it why? I know that you probably heard that a lot. It's like, why would you mix that and allow the people into your personal life, not have that separate? Well, we know you as just Adam Cole and not Austin Jenkins, or we know you Britt Baker as Britt Baker, but, separately.
Well, I think right now, especially with social media, people think they know it all anyway. They think on the inside with all the hot topics and the dirt sheets, they do know it, but why not just let them know the real deal of what's going on? And also, it is entertainment. At our expense, it's entertainment for you, but it's something we want to do. We want more eyes on AEW and more eyes on the professional wrestling fan base. And I think if it just means cameras following us around for a little bit, then so be it.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, for me, this almost feels meant to be, because Britt knows this, but generally speaking, I do like to stay fairly private. I wasn't necessarily like, oh yeah, 100%, I want to do this. But I felt really compelled to want to do it. Not only because I'm so proud to be involved with AEW, and of course it would be fun, and it'd just be interesting to have cameras around and documenting certain parts of our lives. But now, knowing the injury that I went through and that entire journey and that entire process is now all captured on film. And the fans who have been so patient, just wondering if I was okay, will get the chance to see that entire journey now. So I'm thankful that the entire recovery process was documented.
When you both do retire, what do you want your legacies to be?
I always say I just want to be remembered, because there's so many fantastic wrestlers, legends that come and go, but I want to be somebody that people remember, that the name Dr. Britt Baker or D.M.D, that it sticks, and that I have somewhat of a legacy that people can kind of tip their cap to.
And for me, I want fans who have ever had any sort of experience with me, I want them to look back on it fondly, like it was a positive one. I remember being a young fan and meeting the wrestlers who were really nice and ones that weren't so nice. And the ones that were nice, it still is burned into my mind and burned into my memory. So whether it be with with the crew, with the roster, with the fans. I want people to go, man, I really, really liked when Adam Cole was around.
Wonderful. Thank you both for speaking to me. I loved what I seen. I love both of your careers. I've been following you guys forever. So thank you.
Oh, thank you very much.